Hey, what's up guys? It's Toasty Tabletop Games, and today I've got something a little different from what I normally do. I've got the Dungeons & Dragons Trivial Pursuit. I kind of picked this one up because I thought it'd be a fun play with my friends, because we're all super nerds and know a lot about this game. But I figured I'd try and branch out a little bit, try and do a little bit more that's actually in my channel description, because I'm 99% sure it says I do board games in there as well. I figure it may as well be true at this point, right? Make it happen. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna check it out, and hopefully it's pretty cool. I mean, I think most people know how to play Trivial Pursuit, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Basically, this is just gonna be an overview of what's in it, quality of the pieces, and some maybe some core gameplay stuff. Because it says Trivial Pursuit, we'll probably look at a couple of the questions, and then you can decide for yourself if this is something you would enjoy. But yeah, so this comes with this one singular one page of rules actually, which I really like. A lot of people get turned off from games for having massive amounts of rule books or massive amounts of things in a rule book. And I like that this is very simple. But however, it is Trivial Pursuit, so of course it's very simple. But for everybody who doesn't know how to play Trivial Pursuit, you will move around the little board and you land on a color. You roll the die, you move that many spaces. You land on a color space, you answer a question. If you answer it correctly, you get a colored wedge, and if you have all of them and answer one more question, then you win the game. So because this is Dungeons & Dragons, the types of questions are different. So we have magic and miscellany, dungeons and adventures, history, characters, monsters, and cosmology. And we'll check it all out. Or we'll at least go over it, right? So let's see what's all down here. So first is the board. You kind of fan out the board a little bit. It's probably definitely not going to all fit on camera here, right? But it's a nice board. It's flavored, has a bunch of little classic Dungeons & Dragons items and symbology you might recognize. But otherwise, it's the same Trivial Pursuit board that I'm sure everybody knows and loves. We're going to check out what else is in here. There is a big cardboard divider, and then we get to the juice. So we have one six-sided die for the actual game. The pieces, I believe there's 36 total, so there should be enough for every player to answer one of each category correctly. We have two decks of questions. I'm pretty sure one is going to be for the more advanced questions or whatever it is. Like there usually is. There's usually I think there's usually ones for kids and ones for adults. We'll go over it though, and then we have the actual game pieces themselves. We'll check those out real quick. So first of all, we have it looks like a lich or a demi-lich piece. Super fun, and it looks like the wedges go in the sides a little differently, so that's pretty cool. Then we have a beholder piece. He's pretty cool too. You could probably also use these as minis for Dungeons & Dragons games too, which is also really cool. And I think that might be the goal here, since they're all a matte color, so you might be able to paint them, which would be really cool. We have a mimic, a really cool looking mimic. I would also say, and standing up on the tongue like that, it's kind of interesting. Then we have a gelatinous cube piece, a bunch of little things sticking out of it. There's axes and looks like a halberd on top, a shield. Pretty cool. Then we have an owlbear. I'm trying to focus up on him, get all the details. Not too much to talk about there. It's an owlbear, but he's pretty cool. And finally, last but not least, we have a Mind Flayer piece. He's pretty cool too. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, so he's probably going to be my playing a lot of that game lately, so he's probably going to be my go-to piece for now. Super cool. And then we'll look at a couple of questions. I have to check exactly how many questions there are in this game, but I'm sure there's more than enough to cover pretty much everything you can think of. It looks like this top one here covers the animated series from the 80s as well, which is actually kind of crazy. I didn't expect it to go that far back. Let's check it out. So let's look at the one. Let's look at the one here. So for green, right? Let's see, it says belts of giant strength exist in how many varieties corresponding to the types of true giants for green. And then for yellow, but actually look at the actual list again. So yeah, if you were playing the game just normally, right, you landed on green, that'd be a magic and miscellany question, and that would be about the magical item, Belt of Giant Strength. If you land on yellow, you'd be asking this question about history, which is what line of multipath adventure books conceived by Rose S. did TSR begin publishing in 1982? And then if you had the orange one, it'd be about monsters, which this one would be about name one of the 3 methods that can permanently destroy a flame skull. Excuse me. For Dungeons and Adventures, which crazed demi-lich built the Doom Vault featured in Dead and Thay, only to see it usurped by Zastam. Then we have your characters in Dungeons and Dragons animated series from 1983-1985. Who is the cowardly complaining cavalier? And then for purple, which is in Faerun, which of the old empires survived under the rulership of physical manifestations of its deities and later their descendants? And I'm not going to lie, those are all very difficult questions. I don't know the answer to a lot of those. So yeah, this could be a pretty intense game. If you have a bunch of Dungeon Master buddies, or like, maybe it could even be like one of those games where you sit down with your players, right? And you have like the Forever DM, and the Forever DM just knows all of this because of course they do, right? And all the players are like, whoa. All right, so we'll check out another one. So which of the following is not known? Here, let me focus up again, excuse me. Which of the following is not a known type of Qual's Feather token, an anchor, arrow, fan, or tree? Or which D&D loving heavy metal band that has songs that include Chain Lightning, Second Wind, and the Leviscus Underdark? Eladrin are moody and passionate relatives of elves that dwell on which plane of existence? The Lost Dungeon of Wickedness, Big Rick Energy adventure shipped in what crossover starter set in 2019? What kind of animal does Xanathar, the Beholder, Crime Lord of Waterdeep, keep as a pet? Hogs and bedrolls, everything soup, and chicken something dumplings are popular recipes among which humanoids? That one was a little better. I at least kind of knew that one. We'll pick one from the center, maybe one or two more, just kind of see what else is in here. So for this one, if you had the magic and miscellany question, what is the material component required to cast Tensor's floating disc? Or if you had the history question, what landmark Main Street hotel in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin did TSR take over as its headquarters in 1978? For monsters, the Demon Lord Gratz has sired numerous offspring with humanoids. Which type of creatures are his progeny? For Dungeons and Adventures, in the Forge of Fury, characters explore a ruined dwarven stronghold under a mountain known by what name? For characters, King Janel of Ankapur, a city near the Lake of Steam in Faerun, was once a thief who went by what one-syllable nickname? And for cosmology, which Faerunian demigod is the Sensicle of Kelamorv, Lord of the Dead, and keeps orderly accounts and records about the deceased? Yeah, there's quite a bit of interesting questions here. I think that's probably all I'll cover for the questions, but know that there is double that many because there was one on each side. Honestly, kind of crazy because some of those are like way before I even began to exist. But yeah, this could be a pretty fun game with your friends still, especially if you all know at least, I would say at least, like if you had a moderate amount of information about Dungeons and Dragons and how it works and like some magical items and whatnot, because some of it, if you like hadn't read some of the books or like were alive for certain things, you probably wouldn't know it. Or if you just weren't a dungeon master, you may not know it either. But other than that, pretty cool product. Wizards of the Coast, or maybe it's just Hasbro at the end of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just Hasbro. Has been like doing a lot of crossovers with different board games. As of late, like Clue and Betrayal at House on the Hill. So this doesn't really surprise me. but I think I think this one's been around a lot longer than the other ones. But still, pretty cool product. But yeah, it's hard to recommend this to like casual Dungeons and Dragons players. But I guess at the same time, I don't know if there's really such a thing as a casual Dungeons and Dragons players with the amount of like information and knowledge you need to have about this game to like really get into it. But yeah, that's kind of all for today's video. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, follow me on my socials at TwistedTable.games on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. Pretty much any social, you'll probably find me. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.